What is up, our Will number one fans and viewers? This is Scott Casey Gale, Will number one, and today I'm gonna give you my recap and review of Feud, Bette and Joan, season 1, episode 3, entitled "Mommie Dearest." And it was a really good episode with really good acting. Okay, let's begin with the recap, shall we? Just as Jane is shocked to realize the end of whatever happened to baby Jane, that she and Blanche had wasted years when they could have been friends. Sunday's Feud made it clear. Okay, here we go. Give her a pair of your shoes and let her walk around for a while. As Mommie Dearest began, Joan caught BD teaching her twin daughters how to smoke and advised the girls next time to issue a crisp good morning and keep moving. Soon it was obvious that she intended to keep her younger children past at the point where they were really little kids. As for Christina, who was off opening in a play, that she was already the persona semi non grata. At first, Mom didn't even want to send a congratulatory card. We'll see how her reviews are, Joan tells Mamacita. Then we'll be thinking about sending flowers. Meanwhile, after Betty and Bob agreed that the tryst couldn't be repeated, he suggested that they cast BD as the Hudson sisters. To his neighbor, Betty was sure Joan would object since she had a daughter who actually was an actress, and Christina's adopted. Betty noted that she could be talented. Later, Betty invited Joan to have drinks with her to discuss BD's potential casting in no time. The conversation went deep, like bone deep. Joan admitted to Betty that as a girl, her mother had thrown her out like a pair of old shoes and shipped her off to a convenience school, but not to protect her innocence. She lost at 11 to Mom's second husband. I was very grateful to that kind of genuine affection to feel cherished, she said, adding to Betty's honor. I led them into it. In turn, Betty revealed that after her father had ditched the family, she had been sent to boarding school. However, until her mother's death, they had been very close. In fact, she was my only true friend, Betty remarked. At the end of the rare intense of genuine bond between them, Betty pointed out that we don't have to be best pals, just allies. When Joan suggested that Betty was in shooting for Best Actress, let's not ask her that, Betty insisted, I'm going to support this picture even if it means supporting you. It's like Mommy just gave me a new pony. After evening of revelations with Betty, Joan infuriated Heather by asking her to cancel the smear campaign against her co-star. But the gossip column still ticked up by Davis by writing that she was going to submit herself in the supporting actress category, leaving lead actress to Joan. You said you didn't care about the awards, Crawford recalled. Plus, I've only got one. Whereas Davis already had bookends. Bob tried to point out that there's room for both of you to succeed, but by then they were beyond hearing it. In other developments, Betty, though perturbed at first that Victor wasn't really from Broadway, came to see that he was actually quite talented. Betty, on the other hand, was a disaster. She was so bad, in fact, that Betty blew her off her request to one night. You'll do your best. In order to hang out with starstruck Victor, in whom she confided in the youngest daughter, Margaret had been diagnosed as a mentally retarded and was attending a special school in Maine. On the set, tensions ran high in the wake of Heather's Oscar story. First, Joan and Betty took turns wrecking one another's takes, and the more difficult to take, the better. Then Davis might have gotten a wee bit carried away during the scene in which Jane kicks her sister. Bob's reaction, did you get it on film? Things were even worse for Joan at home. With the twins away at camp, she hated returning after a day of work to this awful silence. She tried to talk herself into embracing the new empty nest stage of her life, telling Mamacita that being alone didn't have to mean being lonesome, but wound up watching TV in the bed with her maid. Before they could say Mrs. Danvers, later as John described to Heather what a pain Betty had been while shooting the beach scene on location, we saw it actually being Crawford who had been a handful. Determined to look good, she kept disappearing and returning the young again more made up than before. Yes, it was Betty who received the highest praise as she danced on the beach, but Bob remarked that she looked suddenly younger when it was it the filters on her? No, he had been with her a shot of a crush jump. It's a goddamn acting. Everything's fair game. When Heather showed up at Betty's claiming word on the street that there was Joan stealing the picture and saying that she knew all the nasty things she'd done to Crawford. During the shoot, Davis called upon her manufacturing concern and scoffed at the way the gossiper regarded herself as a true seller. Getting nowhere, Heather threatened to blab that she heard BD stunk in the movie and an even record. That's not true, Betty replied. Since BD's role isn't important enough to wreck the movie, overwhelming BD wound up apologizing to her mom for being so lousy. If Crawford couldn't win this picture, nobody could. Out, out, out cruising one viewing, Victor got mistaken for Charles, laughing and picked up unfortunately the gay movie theater at whom he enjoyed his date was waited. But since he couldn't call his own mother to bail him out, he called Betty, who used to stop her to spare him a scandal. Back at the studio, Jack was appalled by the ending of Baby Jane. Why did John look better the closer? Blanche got to dying. No way could he open the film wide as was. Bob would have had to reshoot the last scene on his own dime. Before he did, Joan became so desperate to refuel a nursery that she went shopping at an orphanage. Unless you're simply too old to adapt again. She was told Betty's heart broke too when she phoned Margaret to say she'd be there for a long visit, and her daughter became distracted and walked away from the phone. Both Davis and Crawford being at low ebb emotionally, they could really have used an ear to bend or shoulder to climb, but once they re-left the beach scene, they went their separate ways. And I would give this episode 4.5, 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, way up. This was a really, really good episode. It pays homage to the Feud January 1976 Mommie Dearest, and this is really good. You really saw the feud between Betty and Joan heat up, and you got to know more about their daughters and what it was like on the set of whatever happened to Bobby, what it was like on the set of whatever happened to Baby Jane. Anyway, this was a really, really good episode. And now there's let's see. There's 5 episodes left now. 5 episodes left. Anyway, comment down below in the comic section. Tell me, Scott Kiske, what you thought about this episode and what's gonna happen in the next 5 remaining episodes. How far are they gonna go to get to the truth? What's gonna happen? Anyway, you know who to subscribe to. You stay classy, live long and prosper, and peace out.